Hello, good day. Back again. So this time around I wanted to talk about the adoption process through dealing with the shelters and SPCA and what to expect. Out for a walk with my boy Hokie again. So this is my third rescue dog I've had. Now Hokie, he was in a foster care home. I believe through the SPCA, but that was we kind of got him straight directly from the lady who was fostering him, and they had a terrific home and really loved dogs. But Hokie needed a home of his own. Now, when you adopt a dog now, it's not like it was 30, 40 years ago. You know, you go into a shelter, yeah, I want a dog. Well, we did, our first dog. Called up, we called a few times actually, and it was right around Christmas time. And we kept calling in December. No dogs. Do you have any dogs to adopt? None. And it's hard to believe, you know, you're always hearing they want to adopt out the dogs, and we're getting none. So, we waited, and we thought, right after Christmas, and sure enough, like the day after New Year's, the first day the shelter was open. The day after. So January 2nd. This is 25 years ago. So around 2000, January 2nd, we called the shelter. Any dogs to adopt? Oh yeah, we got 3 pups and a few other dogs. 3 pups just came in yesterday on New Year's Day. I always remember that story. So, and it was like, okay, phone. We all jump in the car because the boys were still off school. We hop in the car, drive up to our shelter, and there's 3 pups there. And by the time we got there, they'd found these pups, 3 months old, 2 girls and a boy. The time we got there, the boy had already been adopted out, the male dog, and there was 2 females, so we took one of the females. But it was just like you phone up, get in the car, go. And it's like, hey, heard you got a dog for us? Yeah, here you go, take him home. I think we paid like $30 or something. They told us, we don't know if they've had any shots. Somebody dropped them off in a park, and they just got a call and went and picked them up in a park. These 3 pups running around. And so gave them to us, no shots. Said, yeah, you got to get the shots done. And they're not spayed or neutered, so you're going to have to get that done. But here you go, here's your dog, and like $30, and we're out the door. Now, I was back in around 2000. So a few years later, in 2010, Trixie, that dog, had passed away, and we waited a few months, and we thought, well, we're going to get another dog. So we called the SPCA, or didn't call, sorry. Now the internet's everywhere, right? By 2010. And there's profile pages, everybody's got a web page. So you go on the SPCA website, and they got dog profiles, they got their picture, their history, their age, their sex, what they like, what they don't like, everything. And most are older dogs, and it was hard. I checked like 3 different shelters locally, and the SPCA shelter had an 8-month-old lab-husky mix. He was 8 months when he came in there. By the time I had checked it, he was about 9 months. Okay, so, okay, great, let's go get him. Nah. Lots changed in the 10 years. So, check on the website, you click on if you'd like to adopt this dog. His name was Thunder. Cool, we knew he was going to be a bit big, because he was a lab-husky. I kind of wanted a smaller dog, but he was a pup. My boys were looking at him and fell in love with him. So, I click on the thing. Oh yeah, I want to adopt Thunder. When can I come get him? No, you got to fill out an application online. Oh, okay. So I fill out the, leads me to the application. I fill out the application online. And, oh, okay. Picking a time for an appointment for an interview. Okay. And when you come for your interview, everyone who lives in the house, whether you got somebody boarding, renting a room or something like that, everybody must attend the interview. Okay. So we set up, we go for our interview, and we don't get to meet Thunder. Now we get to meet one of the staff workers there for our interview first. So we all sat down around a table, and the interview went well. We were previous dog owners. I'd had, like I said before, dogs my whole life. My two sons had already had a dog for quite a few years. They were 13 and 14 at the time, I think. So I got two young teenagers and myself. And we start talking, and the staff member realizes we're, dog people. Once this dog goes out, he's not going to, there's a good chance he's not going to come back. Now I'll tell you Thunder's backstory that she told me. Somebody had gotten him through whatever, that had never had a dog before. Okay, so they didn't know what to do, apparently. Then, because they didn't know what to do, they decided to give him up to friends of theirs, family, who had never had a dog before. And basically he'd been through two families, and finally the second family took him to the shelter. So this dog had not been housebroken at all. And he's about 9.5, maybe 10 months old at this time. So we're getting through the interview, and the staff worker begins to realize that, we're experienced. We know what we're doing. And I kind of saw in her body language, I guess, or facial expressions, everything was going good in the interview. And she got to the point where she said, well, I got to tell you, he's not housebroken yet. Okay, he hasn't been housebroken and everything. And I'm okay. I've done it before. I've had pups and I've housebroken, but he's 10 months old. And so she said to me, I'd suggest you try crate training. Okay, I've never heard of it. I had dogs all my life. I've never heard of crate training. She said, crate training, it's a successful way of housebreaking a dog. Okay, well, we'll give it a try. So we go through the interview, and then we go to, then after we were done, she took us to meet Thunder. We let him out, and they went out into the little play yard that they have there. And ran around with him for a few minutes. My youngest son played with him. He was the real dog guy, and it was funny. Sure enough, Thunder goes right, of the three of us, right to him. And the lady said they instinctively know who the kid dog person is, right? So anyways, we go back in, and oh no, they're not taking him home. After the interview, he's had all his shots because he was in the shelter already. They don't release any animals until they've had all their shots, the checkup, and they're spayed and neutered and healthy. And that's done before, if you get approved, after they spayed and neuter them, and you got to pay for it. So we pay for everything. Now it was reasonable because they basically just charged whatever the expense was. And I think it ended up being, it was 2010, and it ended up being around $300. Pay for his shots. Even back then, that wasn't too bad for a dog, getting all his shots, spayed, neutered, the whole works. And so we pay out the money, go back home, no dog, come back in a couple of weeks after he's been spayed and neutered. He has an appointment with the vet, spayed and neutered, their vet comes in and does it there. Spayed, neutered. We'll call you, come back and pick them up. So we go home, we wait. Meantime, while I was waiting to get, I guess we had to wait about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, something like that. While I was waiting, I went online and I researched the crate training. And next video, I'm going to get into crate training. A little bit of, not the details of what to do, it's fairly easy anyways, but just the theories behind it and why it works. Which it did, by the way. To make it short, in the entire training housebreaking time, he messed in the house once. And I had experience with puppies and stuff before, and it's, you know what it's like, right? But he messed in the house once. One time I cleaned up. That was it. And he was house trained. 10 months old. Been through 2 houses, this 3rd house now, and the shelter. Never been housebroken. And so, well, I researched crate training and read up on it while I was waiting to the waiting period to go back and get him. So I'll get into that next, and meanwhile I'll leave it at that for now, and stay tuned for the next episode. Same bat channel. Bye.